Hey guys, it's Paul and welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday and you know what that means? It's Tuesdays without Richard. You did not think that I was gonna let him have his shining star moment and then not take one myself. No. I also need to share my coming out story because it's a very powerful one and I think that it needs to be heard. Now, if you saw me post my transformation story, I'll link it right up here. If you saw my transformation story, you heard a little bit about my weight loss journey, my credit card debt, and I didn't really dig deep into my journey to coming out. It's a little painful for me to relive. Not because it was a hard coming out. I mean, there were hard parts about it, but because I spent so much time in fear. And my message to anyone watching this who's struggling right now, to honor themselves, to really truly embrace their truth, as cliche as it sounds, as overused as it does get better. And just honor that you are worth it and you are absolutely not alone. We are all here in this community and outside of this community to just support you. So know that from the bottom of my heart. So I didn't come out until I was 25, but I mean, that's not really true because I did have like a little taste of what it felt like to be out of the closet at the age of 24? No, wait, hold on. I didn't come out officially until I was 27. Now I can't really get the dates right. All I know is that I had a taste out of the closet and then I jumped back in because I was still scared, and I had jumped out of the closet and spent some time with not the right type of people for me, and that's where the struggle really began. I had not really learned what I needed and taken the time to really honor myself. So, you know, I dated a sugar daddy, which was real cute until he refused to buy me a pair of Louboutins. Like, excuse me, we all know shoes are my thing. If you watch the story about when Richard and I met for the first time, that was the whole reason I showed up, because he told me that he was a lawyer. I mean, he is a lawyer, but at the time he was working as a clerk, so he did not have any money for shoes for me. And this guy did. The first guy that I truly ever dated did. And he said no to me, and I was just over it. You know, I was a cute 25-year-old who thought that I deserved everything. Well, lo and behold, that is not the truth always. I'd say 95% of the time, I deserve exactly what I need and want and just like manifest. But that other 5%, AKA these Louboutins that didn't even really fit, like I was squeezing my big foot into a Cinderella slipper, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So I hopped in and out of the closet. I was really struggling. And I think that the hardest part for me was the fact that I had been made fun of so much as a child. Called gay, queer, any of those words that, you know, connotate homosexuality. And I really didn't want my bullies to be right. I wanted to prove everyone wrong. And that, I think, is really when I started doing a disservice to myself, when I let other people control my world and who I thought I was, what I thought I was, and really just my destiny. And it wasn't really until maybe 2 years ago that I really stepped into my destiny and my purpose and my power. So the rest of the time was just really me testing the waters and trying to figure out what it would feel like to truly be Paul Fishman, whoever that is, right? So I came out, rainbow flags are flying, and actually at the time I was dating a woman. We were living together, and enough was enough, and I caused a lot of pain, not only to myself but to her. And I left the relationship, and at that point really started flourishing. I moved into a home with some roommates who were very accepting of me regardless of who I was, what I was, where I was going. It was a beautiful, beautiful home full of love and light and acceptance, which was so powerful for me. And that was really the beginning of what turned into my transformation story, because I surrounded my people, or myself, with people who understood that it's okay to just be you. And having fear around what others are gonna think is really gonna get you nowhere. So that was a really, really powerful time in my life, which led me to, you know, exploring and dating all types of men. Like, I dated the theater dude, I dated the conservative guy, I dated the machismo guy, I just dated them all. And it was really just like having my Goldilocks moment and really enjoying it. Then one day, I was also like a relationship person. Like, I would hop into a relationship and you know, spend some time and then realize that maybe that's not what I wanted or needed at the time. And it wasn't until I moved back to San Diego. I was living in New York. All of that stuff that I told you happened in New York City. A great place to, I think, come into your own. You know, the clubs, the parties, so much fun. Just like dancing and just like being free. Because that's what we're all looking for, right? We're all looking to be free. And I think that I really freed myself of so much emotional issue when I came out. And I actually came out to my dad first. I was scared that my mom wasn't ready to hear it. And then my dad was totally open to it, and of course told my mom, which was kind of my secret hope, because I once again was too scared to tell my mom. And then it was kind of like unspoken. It was an unspoken thing until I moved home, and we really just talked about it, and they expressed their concerns, which were, you know, very stereotypical dated concerns about, you know, sexual health and children and all of the things that parents want for their child. So once we moved through that, and my mom realized that having a gay son is probably the best thing ever, because we can go shopping and just like gab and have like so much fun together, get our nails did, you know, all of the fun things. It really started to become exciting to truly be Paul Fishman. And this, how old was I? I was 29 when I moved home. Really only 29, yeah. 29 when I moved home, and really just got the love and acceptance from my parents. And for me, that was really powerful. Now, I have a feeling that some of you watching may be struggling with that. And it's unfortunate that still in 2018 that we have things standing in our way of being our truth, especially when it comes to our family. I don't want you to hear my story and concern yourself with my life and how my story went, because your story and your pain are going to one day fuel your purpose and your power and your progress. So know that my struggle of eating my feelings and shopping my pain away, getting myself into $75,000 worth of credit card debt and almost 75 pounds overweight, that was I think just as painful a cross to bear as any struggle that any of us go through. Because every day I looked in the mirror, not only did I not love myself for my sexuality, but I hated the way I looked. And I hated getting those credit card statements. But at the same time, I kept on self-medicating by shopping more, buying the shoes, buying the bags, buying gifts for so many people, because I was scared that me stepping into my truth would not be accepted. So I said, oh, well, if I use gifts to share with these people that I want to love me so much, maybe they'll consider overlooking my flaws. And at that time, I thought that my sexuality was a flaw. So I know that my story's kind of bounced all around, and it's tough to keep track of my timeline. However, the emotion is there, and the emotion was real for me. And I'm really sharing this because it's finally time for me to let go of the pain that I caused myself and the pain that I caused others. Because at the end of the day, when we're not loving ourselves, when I was not loving myself, when I wasn't able to look in the mirror and look at every inch of my body, mind, and soul and love myself, I was not able to reach out and love anyone else. So if that's the message that I can send you with, like the one message I want to send you away with is, if you aren't able to love yourself fully, every inch of your body, every piece of your soul, how are you going to be able to love anyone else? So consider that. If you have fear or hatred or concern, anxiety living within you, and you're projecting that out into the world, that, my friends, is not going to do any good for yourself or for humanity. So how can you turn your pain into power? I know I did. But listen, it took me 8 years. 8 years to realize that my pain could be power. I was suffering. And I know that some of you are too. So, if you need me for anything, please don't be scared to comment below. And if you are scared, that's okay too. There's never any judgment or expectation from me to you as a viewer, as a follower, as a part of my world, to do anything but be here and feel safe. Because I know that the internet can be scary, and I know that there are a lot of bullies out there. But know that the bullying is coming from fear, and coming from their fear. It has nothing to do with you. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that pain, because I went through it. And it's really, really tough. But know that you're worth it. You are valued. And you are never alone. So I'm signing off. This week of Tuesdays without Richard has come to an end. And my friends, don't you worry, because you are going to get to see both Richard and I back together, finally back together next Tuesday, right here on YouTube. You, me, and Mr. Darby. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Share this message if you feel like it will support someone. It means the world to me that you're here. I love you, I care for you. And not that internet love, this is IRL, in real life love, because you matter. And I'll see you next time. Bye.